we're taking the road to Rio via Great Britain to look at the precision technique needed to move into the men's Coxless 4. 3 new crew members from the men's 8 and the men's pair join London 2012 gold medalist Alex Gregory as they look to continue the boat's long tradition of winning gold.
Coxless 4 for Team GB and the history that it has is huge.
If you're in the 4, you have a lot to live up to. When you are part of a legacy like that, you do feel pressure to live up to it.
Just to be a part of that history, it's a sense of enormous pride.
As an athlete, you always want to win gold. You don't go out with, I really want to win bronze at the Olympics. I've still not achieved the thing that I was picked to do.
In London, I was in the pair. Just completely came from nowhere to take a bronze medal, which was pretty much a dream come true. London 2012 was a bit of a blur, to be honest. I was 20 years old, the racing was so intense, it was so high-pressured, but I do remember having a lot of fun.
To be able to compete and represent my country is a huge honour. I ended up crossing the line first in an Olympic final, and that's the stuff of dreams.
Well, the history goes back to 2000 when Steve Redgrave and his crew won in Sydney. And that made a lot of headlines because it was his 5th gold medal. And ever since then, it's been the flagship boat for the heavyweight men. They have won every time, so it's kind of synonymous with British Olympic success, I suppose. That's why we row.
Got Jürgen Grobler coaching us. He's the most successful rowing coach, possibly even sports coach in the world. His consistent level of success for so many years is probably unmatched.
When you sit on the start line and you've gone through 4 years of Jürgen's coaching programme, it gives you a bit of an edge, I think.
The coach goes through, checks the pitch is right, checks the heights are right, checks that his foot stretch is in the right place, because of all those small changes make us row the same length, make us row in time. Each boat will be finely tuned to the crew that they're in. I'm quite a tall guy, so I like to have my height quite high. It's contentious now. Who's taller, George or Alex? So that's always a challenge for Jürgen to try and figure that out, how he's going to do that. But he's managed to do it so far, so far so good.
Sometimes when you get in a boat for the first time with a new crew, it just works. And it's rare, but it just happens, and this has been one of those boats. There's always something to change. There's always some adaptation to the person in front or a new person in the boat, a person you haven't rowed much with. But this time, it's been minimal.
At London 2012, I stroked the men's 8, so I was also in the stroke seat, but the mechanics of it are different. It's faster, it's bigger, it's kind of more aggressive. It's shorter, so it's higher intensity.
And my role in the 8 was just to row long and row hard. I'm in the middle, I'm the engine as such, along with 2 other guys, and our role was literally just pull as hard as we can and almost end ourselves every single race. Whereas in the 4, it's slightly different. You do that, but then you've also got to stay technical.
I've got the numbers in front of me on a little screen, the rate and the speed. That means that I'm the one who has to respond to that. I have to set the rhythm for the other guys because they're going to follow me, they can see me and they can feel what I'm doing. In the 8, you've got a Cox yapping away, and they really are making all the calls. They're totally in charge of everything. They're sitting right in front of the stroke man, and they see all the same numbers. So that's kind of all taken out of your hands, but in a Coxless boat, you've got one guy with the responsibility to make the calls, and for us, that's Moe. And that's great because he's got a big, deep, booming voice, and he kind of sits above everyone else, and he really takes control. And then you've got one guy who's stroking it and is going to kind of lead the action as a response to those calls.
So come race day, being sat in the sous seat, you've got to bring power, you've got to bring a little bit of finesse, but not as much as maybe bow or the stroke man. And it's feeding the rhythm through the boat. And we have a tandem, which means that me and George are sat next to each other and we're both on the same side. So actually, critically, our blades have to be in sync a lot more than so there was a gap in between.
I'm in a 3 seat, which means I'm one behind the stroke man, who's the guy that sets the tempo, sets the rhythm. My job is to take what he's doing and transfer it back to the guys behind me, and also add in kind of power of my own. So coming into the boat, I have had to change a couple of things technically just to match up with the guys around me. So
Specifically, the speed that we move when the oar is out of the water, we call it the recovery. A couple of little bits and bobs in that area of the stroke I've had to change.
So I'm in the bow seat, so the three guys in front of me don't know what I'm doing. I'm the first point of contact to the water with the blades. So it's my job just to keep the momentum going in the bow seat. So I just sit back, let them pull me along, whip them a little bit, and enjoy the show. Perfect Olympics would be standing in front of my family, having a gold medal hung around my neck, and enjoying the parties afterwards.
I'm in the 4. If I don't win, then we haven't passed our mission.
Expecting of us, I think, is a gold medal. We wouldn't settle for anything less.
I haven't really thought about it beyond just winning gold. If it looks ugly and then we only win by that much when we should have won by more and we still win the gold, I'll be happy with that.